You're not as smart as you think, but neither am I. And that's exactly why this matters. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover something that 90% of people never figure out. Not in school, not from books, not even after decades of experience. This isn't motivational fluff. It's not some feel good speech about believing in yourself. This is a wake up call. And it starts with a cold, uncomfortable truth. Your brain is working against you, not because you're lazy, not because you're broken, but because you're trapped in a mental cage so silent, most people never even realize they're inside it. It has a name, cognitive bias, and it's running your life. What you buy, who you trust, how you judge people, what you believe. Every decision you think you're making is filtered through it. Here's the brutal truth. Most people don't make decisions. They just react. They drift through life on mental autopilot, convinced they're thinking clearly, when really they're just falling into one of the 188 plus mental traps the human brain sets to conserve energy. Ever argued with someone and they just wouldn't listen? Yeah, that's bias. But here's the punch in the gut. You do it too. I do it. We all do. Because our brains weren't designed for truth. They were designed for survival. Let me prove it. You hear about a plane crash on the news. Suddenly, flying feels terrifying. Your brain goes, oh no, that could be me. That's the availability heuristic. The brain assumes something is likely just because it's vivid, memorable. But guess what? Statistically, you're way more likely to die slipping in the shower. Do you panic every time you shower? Didn't think so. See? That's how bias works. It feels like truth, but it's not. So, what can you do about it? You arm yourself with tools, with habits, with mental armor. And there's one habit, just one, that can put you miles ahead of everyone else. It's called second order thinking. Here's how it works. Most people stop at the first consequence. I'll skip the gym today, I'm tired. Sounds harmless, right? But a second order thinker asks, what happens next? If I skip today, tomorrow gets easier to skip. Then next week. Before I know it, I've lost all momentum. I feel like a failure. It's a chain reaction, a slow spiral. That starts with one tiny decision. Second order thinking makes you press pause and play the tape forward. That's how real thinkers operate. They don't just react, they analyze and they strategize. They predict. And no, this isn't about being cold or robotic. It's about clarity, mental clarity in a chaotic world. It's about staying calm when others panic, being 5 moves ahead while everyone else is stuck on step 1. Here's something you need to hear. Your brain hates work. Thinking burns energy. So it cheats. It cuts corners. That's why it's easier to scroll endlessly than solve a real problem. That's why you go with your gut instead of checking the facts. But here's the good news. Just like your body, your brain gets stronger when you push it. So start small. Before you make a decision, pause. Ask yourself, what's the opposite of what I believe right now? Can I argue against my own idea? It'll feel uncomfortable. It should. Because in that discomfort, you're training your brain to think instead of just feel. Most people, they live in a mental echo chamber. They scroll, they consume, they react. But they almost never ask themselves, wait, what if I'm wrong? Is this feeling helping me or tricking me? Am I thinking or just following a script? And that's why they stay stuck, blind to their own limitations, living the same year over and over. But you can break that pattern. Because here's the bottom line. Mental discipline is rare. And the people who master it, they outthink, outmaneuver, and outperform almost everyone around them. not because they're born smarter, but because they trained for it. So now, ask yourself this. Are you going to just click on another video? Or are you finally going to do something with this knowledge? The choice is yours. Your move.